My phone buzzes while the coffee brews. The notification slaps me hard. A security alert from our password manager. New login to our shared family vault from Lena's iPad Pro. But we've never had a device with that name. My stomach drops. I wipe my hand nervously and open the vault. There's a new folder sitting there, like it has always been. Named, if Chip gets reactive. My name is on it. Typed perfectly, eerily neat, like a file label waiting to be opened. Inside, there's a note titled Narrative. Keep it consistent with a cold checklist. Therapy language crafted to make me look unsafe. Controlling, gaslighting, coercive, emotionally abusive. Each word feels deliberate. Like a trap. There's a section about witnesses, listing friends, her sister, a coworker's spouse, names aligned like a roster. This is more than planning. It's assembling an army against me. One bullet point stings sharply. If he finds out about him, redirect to safety. Below, a link to a financial spreadsheet with clean, small transfers, gift cards, subscriptions. It's all organized, calculated chaos. I don't scroll like someone curious. I scroll like someone defusing a bomb. Quick, precise, trembling hands trying to stay calm. Lena walks in cheerful, kisses my cheek like nothing's wrong. She says I look tired, warns me not to start the day angry, as if she can smell the fear inside me. My phone pings again, a calendar invite from Lena titled Retreat Weekend, Healing Circle, no phones, location blank, guest list hidden. Note says, Chip agreed, I didn't I don't confront. It's not weakness. It's survival. If I fight, it's proof for the trap she has set. So I swallow everything. Act normal. Careful, humiliated. Trapped in my own home. My body betrays me. Sleep becomes short. Shallow naps. My stomach twists randomly. Warnings ignored. Hands shake every time the phone lights up. Especially when it asks nothing. Lena never insults outright. Instead, she labels me softly in front of others, trying but doesn't really feel. She says, friends nod politely, absorbing her scripted version of me. I correct her gently once. She turns it into a demonstration. See? Defensive. She says, no raised voice needed. The room watches. I become the exhibit. In our kitchen, her calm smile soothes like a warning. Don't make me feel unsafe tonight. Suddenly, my whole body is on trial. Adjust my tone. Hunger. Hands. I hate that it works. I don't see the circle shift at first. People stop asking my views. Conversations glide away. Her sister stops texting me memes. Instead, they pop up on Lena's phone. I catch looks. Brief and loaded. Lena casually mentions she has been talking to a therapist. Not a friend. Not a lawyer's. About us, as a warning. Like she is documenting every moment. Preparing witnesses. Days later, she slides her phone with a couple's therapist's form. Half filled with my name. We need this. Show we tried. I see that spreadsheet again. This isn't help. It's a record. I pick a strategy. Like a job. Play unawares. Guilty. Small. Stop feeding the script. I apologize for vague things. Tone. Stress. Listening. It tastes wrong but buys silence. I let her rewrite reality. Every morning, I open a note and write a cold, factual journal. Dates. Times. Exact words. Who was there? No feelings. Just records. It's the first thing making me feel steady amid chaos. Important talks shift to text and email. Dull. Casual. Confirming facts only. She replies fast at first. Then slows. Then sometimes ignores. She tries to pull me back into spoken talks. But I keep redirecting. Exporting bank statements. The cryptic charges add up. Wellness subscriptions. Gift cards labeled groceries. Rideshare fees. Patterns spike around retreat weekends. Proof of a secret second life beyond hotel receipts. At home, Lena uses therapy jargon like it is her shield. My questions become control. curiosity, aggression. I feel anger rise, but force it into cold focus. Documents. Don T. React. In therapy. Lena speaks calm and wounded. Rehearsed and articulate. Therapist nods approvingly. The room tilts. Her story dominates. Mine shrinks. I am tired. Wary. Blinking wrong feels like failure. She announces separate accounts for safety. Phrases brave and necessary. But her fingers already know the passwords before I respond. Control sealed within new boundaries, mistaken for healing. Lena grows bolder, gliding through the house. No blow-ups mean I am disposable. Tamed. If I were dangerous, I'd be dangerous now. She thinks my restraint becomes her silent victory. At a friend's birthday, she jokes about me, like a great car with no steering wheel. Laughter masks the sting. I swallow pain, smile, the joke, or fuel her narrative. After, the mask slips. Don T. punish me with that face. She says softly, silence becomes violence. Expression a weapon. Existence a threat. I stare out the window, counting breaths to not set off alarms. She brings a printed list of incidents, a report, therapist-friendly jargon, unsafe, unpredictable, coercive, repeated phrases practiced in front of a mirror. Am on trial, and defending myself sounds exactly like what they accuse. I quit fighting in therapy, prepare quietly outside it, consult a lawyer, a forensic accountant, people who don't care about feelings, only facts, patterns, evidence. I treat nervousness like a weapon, not a weakness. After each session, I email the therapist a polite, detailed summary, the most careful words I've ever written. For the first time, I leave a trail others can T-twist. I build armor out of facts. Lena joins a women's leadership healing circle. Pure, untouchable, a social shield no one criticizes without seeming villainous. She thrives, glowing, ranking growth over me. Not my fault you don't invest. She declares, one night, almost gently, she warns, if I try to ruin her, she'll tell why she had to protect herself, including at work. The line crosses into private cruelty hidden behind kindness. A partner at work checks in with coded concern about my stress, support, and burnout. It's casual but precise, probing if I confirm what S already whispered. I smile, keep it light, but the blood drains out. At an industry event, Lena's friend looks me dead in the eyes and says she is glad I am getting help. Like it as a fact, not a question I can ask without sounding defensive. The moment weighs heavily in my chest. Lena cancels plans last minute, loudly blaming my moods where others can hear. Later, she sighs, asks me not to rewrite reality. She plants phrases, trains ears, scripts her allies subtly. One night, heart racing and words on my lips. I almost explode, but I see the trap. My outburst becomes her evidence, so I do something colder. Ask for everything in writing. Calm, plain. I move the chessboard. The next day, an email from HR requests a confidential meeting about a workplace well-being concern. No details given. Just time, the beginning of the next battle. Quiet, anonymous, clinical. I stay in my lane. Facts, dates, records, patterns. I forward the message to a separate folder. Open the bank statements again. I treat the chaos as data, not my pain. The accountant flags the small charges. A map. Wellness payments spike before retreats. Gift cards line up with hotels. A subscription matches a ride share I never used. The story deepens. Unmasked in numbers. A woman in our circle sends a screenshot. A group chat titled, Support Lena. From months ago, Lena drafts a response plan. If he reacts, escalate. She told her therapist, I am unsafe before the incidents began. Every accident, every bait, every public pity moment was a stress test. Controlled pressure aimed to provoke, capture reaction, and spread the story. The trap wasn't waiting for me. It was running on me. I reread her incident logs like a court file. Dates Don T match. Notes tied to nights I was away. It as a constructed story, not memories. I find cracks in the lies, pieces unsynchronized. I compile 2 packets, one for HR, calm, factual, intentionally boring, the other for my lawyer. Asset protection, evidence of financial tricks, therapy documentation. Same truth, tailored for different battlegrounds. Checking the calendar, the HR meeting clashes with Lena's no phone retreat, planned to be unreachable, while my reputation burns without a chance to defend. For the first time, I feel a small smile. IV moved first. I walk in alone. On time, boringly professional. They start vague. Workplace well-being, concern, support resources. I listen, keep my voice even, my hands steady. I am no victim. I am a prepared fact. I don't accuse. I explain the risk. Workplace systems weaponized in marital conflict. I offer a detailed timeline and materials to assess intent and credibility. The tone shifts. Concern becomes risk management. I lay out the packets, the narrative note from the vault, group chat screenshot from months earlier, therapy emails with meticulous dates, and the financial pattern analysis. No drama, just math. The room's mood shifts quietly but palpably. Faces change without words. Questions slide from stress to process, from offering help to managing risk. The tension in my chest loosens, not because I am believed yet, but because the lie now faces scrutiny. Not me. That afternoon I don't celebrate. No calls, just forwards a few emails, responds to work messages. Then I meet my lawyer. The filing goes in same day. Separation, protective financial orders, quiet surgical action. Lena returns to a system that Docent T run on vibes. Her therapy words Don T open doors here. Her witnesses matter less than records. Her rehearsed story hits a wall of timestamps, slowing momentum to a halt. That night, Lena calls. Sweet, controlled, almost kind. So you trying to destroy me? I say no. I am preventing her from destroying me. There is a pause, then the cold certainty. No one is going to believe you. After that, life shrinks to calendars and PDFs, mediation dates, asset disclosures, accounts classified, explained, quiet logistics with sharp edges. Everyone stays polite, because politeness is cheaper than court. Friends do what people do. Pick sides from the story they heard first. Some grow cold, some pity softly. A few prize neutrality as a moral win. I don't chase. I don't defend in group texts. Time becomes my ally. Time and paperwork are relentless. Small details break the spell. Dates don't line up. Financial order suggest underlying reasons. Screenshots leak. Certainty softens. Not everyone flips, but enough cracks appear. With the noise gone, Lena isn't a cartoon villain. She is messy, terrified of invisibility. The enlightened badge was her oxygen. When that wobbled, she panicked, building a story that made her untouchable. I am no hero. My flaw was hiding in work, avoiding conflict until it became a weapon. I outsourced intimacy for stability and told myself that counted. Dependability isn't presence. And I paid the price. Weeks later, I am alone in the kitchen again. The light is too bright, the space too quiet. My phone pings with a memory of her laughing here, where we were once safe. My body reaches for the spiral, then stops. I delete the memory. No ceremony, no words, just gone. Silence fills the space where the chaos once lived. The first time in a long time. I feel quiet, not freedom yet, but the start of peace. She taught me how narratives work, weaving story with truth to control perception. I just learned to bring receipts, facts, timestamps, records, proof that can be twisted, survival in clarity and paper. Narratives can manipulate, evidence demands respect. Paper doesn't care who sounds enlightened, who begs sympathy. Facts equal power. In the darkest moments, clarity becomes my weapon and shield. Freedom isn't a dramatic speech or loud victory. It asks quiet preparation, careful steps, cold documentation. It asks choosing your survival over the story someone else scripted for you. Some fights happen in shadows, in whispered labels, careful emails, secret spreadsheets. Surviving gaslighting means making the invisible visible, turning silence into a trail others can follow. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words. Not breaking reveals strength. Restraint becomes defiance. In the quiet, you plan your next move, because survival is a strategy, not just a state. Healing isn't about control or narratives. It's about truth, safety, and reclaiming your story. Darkness taught me to fight, but it also showed me how to walk toward light. Slowly, steadily, on my own terms. Scars remain, reminders of battles fought in silence, but they don't define the future. Every step forward is proof of resilience, of a spirit refusing to be rewritten by anyone but yourself. Stories sound convincing, but they can be dissected, challenged, and dismantled. When truth compounds with evidence, control slips away, and the real story breaks free. Truth isn't light, but carrying it changes you. It's heavier, sharper, but liberating. With each fact laid bare, a piece of the trap falls away, and freedom grows in the spaces left behind. What feels cold on paper is warmth in disguise, lifeline out of manipulation. When words fail, the records speak, silent allies in your fight to reclaim your life from lies and control. Survival doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's a quiet revolution, building armor with facts, voicing truth in emails, stepping forward when the world tries to gaslight you into silence. Even in the darkest narratives, hope persists, a spark guiding you past lies, control, and pain. It's fragile but fierce, the pulse that pushes you to reclaim the story no one else should write. No one owns your story but you. It's messy, flawed, and real. Embrace it with courage, because truth isn't just a weapon. It's the bridge to your future, built on your terms. Whisper to yourself, speak truth, seek support, build facts. In a world of twisted narratives, the clearest voice wins, even when it's soft but steady, grounded in reality and resilience. Behind every shadow of manipulation, others stand silently with you. Reach out, document, trust your senses. You are not alone in the fight, and every step forward cracks the foundations of control. Trust can be weaponized, love twists into control. Beware the subtle traps, labels, stories, silent accusations. Recognize them early to protect your truth and your soul. Strength isn't just loud defiance. It's the quiet planning, the cold facts, the calm voice. Sometimes the strongest act is to listen, document, and strike when the time is right. Gaslighting rewrites reality to make you doubt yourself. Spot the contradictions, collect your memories, hold to your facts. Reality belongs to those who remember. Firmly and clearly. Chaos breeds confusion. Clarity cuts through fog like a sharp blade. Choose clarity daily. Through journaling, recording, collecting evidence. It builds a fortress no story can breach. Silence can protect your mind when words become weapons. Use quiet not as weakness, but as a shield. To de-escalate, gather strength, and plan your next move carefully. Healing starts when you reclaim your voice. Not for others, but for yourself. Speak with courage. Record without fear. Your story matters, no matter how complicated the chapters. When every message and call feels like a threat, steel yourself. Train your nerves and steady your hands, because calm can disarm manipulation and unravel falsehoods over time. Emotions run wild in storms, but evidence stays. When feelings spin you dizzy, anchor yourself in records, timelines, proof. It's the map back from confusion to truth. When moments get rewritten, disputed or denied, hold close your confirmations. Texts, emails, recordings, they prove your reality. Memories are challenged or distorted. Big moves attract attention. Quiet planning saves you. Prepare calmly. Document carefully. Move surgically. Your safety lives in the shadows before it walks into the light. Each small step, sending an email, Logging an event, asking for clarity, builds a foundation. One day, those stones make a wall no manipulation can break through. Chaos looks random, but patterns hide inside. Train your eyes to see the cycles. When stress spikes, when lies repeat, patterns are the key to unlocking deception's map. Reacting can feed the story they want, but calm resistance starves the flame. Staying composed disarms accusations, exposes the scripted nature of control. Written records aren't just proof. They re-shields that deflect falsehood. Emails, notes, logs build a wall between harm and your truth, keeping your voice alive when others try to silence it. When accusations sound rehearsed, they've been crafted as weapons. Identifying this lets you separate performance from reality and holds manipulators accountable for their narrative scripts. Manipulation spreads through silence. Keeping your close circle aware with facts and boundaries weakens false stories and builds protective allies aware of the truth behind the scenes. Patience wears down the falsehoods bit by bit. Time exposes contradictions, erodes trust in lies, and sometimes, that's the most powerful strike you can deliver without a word. Calm moments lull you into false security. Prepare because the next challenge can come quietly, under the guise of normalcy. Holding steady now makes you ready to act when it hits. Truth is fractured in stories. People pick sides, influenced by initial accounts. Understanding this protects you from isolation. Time and patience fill gaps in perception and break the spell. Some claim neutrality as a badge, but it can be avoidance dressed up as morality. Recognize when silence from others isn't support, and find your strength beyond their indecision. After chaos and lies, rebuilding personal trust, friendships, and stability is slow. There's no shortcut. Patience and clear boundaries create space for healing and renewed connections. People aren't villains or heroes. They recomplicated. Scared, Lord. Seeing Lena without fog reveals fear and desperation. Protection that became destruction. This clarity frees me to move on without hatred. I wasn't perfect. Avoiding conflict, burying feelings at work. These flaws paved the way for pain. Owning them helps me learn, grow, and stand stronger for the future I want. Memories haunt, but we control their power. Leading digital reminders is a small act of reclaiming control. It's not forgetting, it's choosing peace over pain. Step by step, breaking cycles of abuse and silence begins with one choice. Refuse to be rewritten. Hold to your truth. Build proof. Protect yourself. Your voice can change the story's ending. Facts are your foundation. Don't lie, twist, or bend. Rebuilding your story around them lets you walk out of the gaslight. Step into the truth and no longer be anyone's puppet. Confrontation can fuel manipulation. Instead, preparation, silent, calm, stoic, builds unbreakable strength. Your future peace depends on this patient, steady strategy. Some friends turn cold, others warm with pity, but time reveals true allies. Not everyone flips, yet truth has power to soften even the hardest ranks with patience. Gaslighters use words to bind you in confusion and doubt. Your careful words documented and shared can free you by tracing the truth louder than any lie. Sometimes evidence comes from the last place you expect. A message from a circle member with a legal style disclaimer. Witnesses to facade. Proof of rehearsed stories. You were not alone in seeing the truth. Every poke, every bait was a stress test designed to provoke. Wasn't accident or chance. It was a methodical trap aimed at capturing your reaction for later use. Revisiting false claims brings cracks to light. Dates mismatch. Alleged events happen with alibis. Lies weave a patchwork quilt. Your records start to tear it apart, sending one truth to HR, another to legal. Tailored and precise, keeps you protected on all fronts. Factual, boring, undeniable. This double approach builds a fortress around your future. Chaos seems wild, but planning is your anchor. Meticulous, patient calculations outsmart the emotional storm and create an unshakable path forward. Walking into that HR meeting alone, calm and professional, felt like stepping into fire with a shield. No outbursts, no pleas, just facts, ready to speak in a voice heard by reason. Not rage. Vague workplace concern shifts into risk management when facts land. Attention turns from me to process. The impersonal becomes my ally against personal attacks. As questions focus on process and intent, carefully crafted life falters. It loses power as paper and timelines frame the truth, shifting the battlefield from emotions to facts. That afternoon, filing for separation, freezing finances, preserving assets, legal steps without drama, surgical moves that speak louder than shouting or tears. Lena S. language, rehearsed and sharp, meets walls of timestamps and facts that can be swayed by vibes or stories. Plan hits a dead end where truth prevails. Her call is sweet and controlled, an offer to back down, but I answer with cold clarity. I am not trying to destroy her. I am preventing her from destroying me. The line ends with chilling certainty. No one will believe her. What follows are mediator dates, financial disclosures, polite but sharp conversations. Life shrinks to documents and calendars, silent battles with steep consequences. Friends pick sides based on the first story they heard. Some withdraw warmth, others pitiful. A few prize neutral distance. I let it be. Time sifts truth through slow currents unseen. Some notice date mismatches. Others hear whispers of financial orders. Cracks grow wider as certainty dims. Not a full flip, but enough to break the spell where only her story ruled. Without the noise, Lena isn't a villain drawn in bold lines. She is a scared, desperate woman craving visibility. Fear drove her story, a desperate armor protecting fragile status. My biggest flaw was hiding in work, dodging conflict. That path led me here. Owning it fuels growth, from dependability to true presence. Flaws are lessons, not sentences. Back in the kitchen where it started, that old spiral almost reclaims me. But I choose peace. The painful memory is deleted, not forgotten. And for the first time, I feel quiet inside. He taught me the art of stories. I learned to bring receipts, to make narratives fold under the weight of undeniable facts. This is how survival takes root and grows into freedom. Facts are both shield and sword. They cut through manipulation. Protect your story, and keep your voice sharp in the face of distortion and silence. In gaslighting storms, silence is strength, not weakness. Holding back your reaction denies narratives their fuel, forcing fabrications into weaker positions over time. Each documented detail, email, note is a brick in your wall. Small truths accumulate until they stop chaos, build safety, and create a fortress no lie can breach. Resilience isn't loud. It is a quiet, steady wind that erodes control, fades lies, and resets the narrative on your terms. One calm moment at a time, beyond battles with others. The deepest fight is inside, claiming your mind from doubt, fear, and confusion. Every fact recorded is a step closer to peace and self-trust. Stories may influence people, but records remain untouched by emotion or bias. They stand as a silent witness, waiting to set the record straight when the noise fades. Hope isn't naive. It is the light in your shadowed fight, spark that pushes you to keep gathering truth, keep moving, and keep growing beyond control and fear. Your story, told true and steady, becomes a beacon to others, a light that guides shattered souls from silence and fear toward clarity and strength. No one should be silenced by gaslighting or fear. Your voice matters. It is the anchor that grounds your story and the bridge that connects you back to yourself and others. Stand firm in your truth, but seek peace without rage. Calm strength disarms manipulation far better than fury, crafting paths toward healing and clearer skies ahead. The darkest stories teach the brightest lessons. Learning from pain, abuse, and control builds wisdom that lights your way and empowers others walking through shadows. No one else writes your chapters. Take the pen with courage, ink with truth, and draft a story where you are survivor, not victim, walking forward in your own light. Authenticity builds strength. Embrace your real story, not a polished narrative. The rough edges hold power, a raw, undeniable truth that no lie can overshadow. They try to silence you, rewrite your story, but facts endure. Records persist. Truth, like water, finds a way. cracking stone and breaking chains over time. Document with care. Speak with courage. Survive with strength. These are the tools that turn a scripted trap into a story reclaimed and a life reborn. Every text sent, every note taken, every fact recorded matters. They accumulate silently to build a fortress that guards your truth and your future from false narratives. The journey from victim to survivor isn't overnight. It is a steady climb up from shadows, armed with proof, patience, and the power to say, "This is my story." Even the strongest walls of lies crack eventually. Weight of persistent truth makes foundations crumble, unveiling light where darkness once tried to reign. They script their version of you, but you are more complex, real, and free. Your true story is waiting beyond their lies, ready to be lived fully and fiercely. Carry your light forward into every dark corner they tried to hide in. Shine with truth, resilience, and the quiet power of survival rewritten on your terms. In the end, truth is your greatest ally. Fierce, unwavering, and untouchable. With it, walk beyond the gaslight into a future written by your own hand. Stories fade, opinions shift, but facts endure beyond noise. Collect them patiently, wield them wisely. They are the backbone of your survival and freedom. Strength grows not in storms of outrage, but in measured, steady steps. Documents, planned, moved. Your quiet determination builds unshakable foundations over time. Healing unfolds slowly, piece by piece. It's not an event, but a journey you choose every day. With patience, truth, and a voice that will not be silenced. No matter how dark it feels, keep your eyes on the light ahead. Every fact recorded, every boundary set, every courageous step draws you closer to freedom as dawn. Your story matters, not because it is perfect, but because it is yours. Share it with courage, stand firm in your truth, and inspire others to find their voice too. In a world full of stories, what will your truth be? How will you protect it? Live it and share it. The choice is yours, and it starts with believing you deserve to be heard.